Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Yesterday the stock markets were closed because of June 18th or June 19th, and today it's Friday. A lot of people are taking a day off, so the markets are somewhat slow today, so I thought it would be nice to look at some altcoins. And have to say that my overall opinion is that we might find something of a bottom relatively soon. So I'm probably going to look for a couple of longs already, starting off from next week. I don't want to open up new positions now with the weekend ahead, but starting off from next week it could be very interesting to look at a couple of alts and to also hold this then for somewhat a longer period of time. Couple of days, couple of weeks probably, depending on the price action. A lot of them kind of look the same, but I want to go over them anyways. I have three for you today. I've also shared a couple of ideas on the Discord. If you want to join, it's completely for free, so check out the link in the description. And there I post pretty much daily what I'm looking at, what my thoughts are, what I'm trading, what I'm not trading. And I also shared my idea here with some of the altcoins. For example, here on Gala, this is Gala on the daily, but if we're looking here at the weekly, and this is for most of the altcoins exactly the same, then you can see that we now are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive weeks of downwards price action, so 6 red weeks in a row. Of course, we still have a bit more than 2 days to go, but most likely this week is going to end in the red. And therefore I'm saying, well, statistically I think that we can push out some green and that we can go higher. I have to say, and I think a lot of people will share this opinion, is that we have seen so far a extremely weak altcoin market, extremely weak alt season for the last couple of years. And every pump to the upside was a reason to short again and to go lower. And most of these alts are trading at their absolute lows. I have to say I'm pretty stunned and surprised about that. And when we had a major pump, this was here on the beginning of May, I actually got very excited because it looked good. You can see here this was more than a 40% pump in a week, and I actually expected more upside, that this will continue, that we would have now a couple of weeks of these high increases in price, so like 20, 30, 40% on the alts. Is absolutely nothing in the altcoin space. If you've been here for a while, then you know what I'm talking about. But they were just retracing most of that price action. That for me is quite surprising. So yeah, we have already quite some consecutive weeks of downward price action. You could make the case that a lot of these altcoins, and again they pretty much all look the same, that they are maybe setting themselves up for a double bottom. If that is the case, then I would say the bottom is in this week, next week, or the week after. It is somewhat relatively close, and then we are going higher. The only problem with that ideal scenario is that, well, it's now almost the end of June. We're a bit over half, and we're entering the summer. Usually July and August are very dull. There's not so much volatility. Usually you don't really see an altcoin season really kicking off right in the summer. But of course, never say never, something could happen, but the odds in this case are against us. So if you are looking for this double bottom, who knows, that this might take a little bit longer, but the way it sets up right now, I would say 1 or 2 more weeks and then the bottom should be in. If I'm then looking at the daily, then actually also you see with a lot of altcoins actually the same kind of pattern arising, and that is this falling wedge. Where you can see the price is just constantly making lower lows and lower highs, but it is setting up nicely to eventually break out and to go higher. This is not something that I would actively trade on such a high time frame. The same goes also, by the way, for the double bottom pattern. For me, that's just way too big of a time frame to be in such a trade for months. Because yeah, like I said, we just looked at the weekly time frame. But let's just entertain this idea right here that this is indeed a falling wedge, and eventually you see price in the next couple of days maybe tapping here this daily level right here, or taking out these lows here at 0.011, and then eventually to go higher to grab that last bit of liquidity. Maybe we get some news around Iran or Israel that causes this wick, then to go higher, and that's then setting us up eventually for higher. And yeah, I do have some daily levels marked here, as you can see on the chart, and have some highs marked. Don't put too much weight on there, but that's just for me to mark some support and resistance levels. But eventually, let's say that this would play out, you could have something like this, and then eventually you're taking the liquidity above all of these highs, and then you could squeeze higher. So this actually could be a nice pump. And then you're talking about 60-70%. Actually, you're just then recovering everything that you gain here, because you can see price just coming down, completely giving everything back, and then eventually to go higher again. These will be absolutely the highs that I will be targeting. 0.023 in this case for Gala. I would also be looking, oh no, these lows are kind of taken already. Yeah, so then this daily or this SFP is then the first one that I will be looking at. What else did I post here? Oh, Sui, actually that's also a nice one to look at. Sui has been somewhat stronger lately, but also here you can actually see the same kind of price action. We had a pretty big pump up, and again, don't mind all the lines that I have on my chart, just follow my my story. You had this pretty big pump up, and now you're seeing this very slow grind lower, lower, lower. I do have a support and resistance box marked right here that we are at as we speak, at around that $2.77. So we cannot lose that. Whoops, sorry. So we cannot lose that, because if else actually there is just not a whole lot of support underneath, but you get the same kind of idea. Also here on the weekly, look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive red weeks. I do have to say that on Market Cipher B, for most of these altcoins, it does not yet look like that there is a bottom in here on the momentum wave. For some of them, the money flow still looks pretty okay. Here on Gala, if I'm not mistaken, actually it doesn't look all too good. Yeah, here it's actually a good example. You can see here that the money flow is still pretty negative, and here's this momentum wave here on the weekly actually doesn't show any bottoming signs at all. So that is yeah, not the strongest. But here on the daily, for example, and then I'm sorry, we're switching back to Sui again, you can see that we are trying to print this green dot. Money flow is pouring out though, so that is not all too sexy, but let's say we are seeing some sideways action in the next couple days, and just seeing this a bit of a bigger bottom form. So I'm not really right away looking for bullish divergence, but it would be nice if we get them, and eventually that money flow kind of rolls over back to the upside again. 1 or 2 weeks further, we're now looking here at the daily, could absolutely happen. Then this could be setting up nice for a big double bottom. Oh, you're back to here to Sui indeed. So this weekly doesn't look like it's bottoming out anytime soon. Here on the daily, a little bit of the same story. You see, not really green dot yet. Money flow is still pouring out, but it kind of looks like it wants to form some kind of a bottom. And like I said, well, if we cannot hold that that level where we are right now, then I'm afraid we are going to see much lower prices. That will be pretty bad actually, but yeah, also here you could make the case that it is somewhat some kind of a falling wedge. Again, not something that I would trade actively on such a high time frame, but it could be nice. Last one I want to show you, and that is something that oh, and it's gone. Something that is that also drew my attention, and that is Litecoin. Let's go there. I'm just doing this on the fly, nothing is really scripted here. This is just a bit more raw and unedited. I hope you like this kind of format. If so, please let me know in the comments. Let me see, Litecoin had it somewhere here. There you go. So for Litecoin on the daily, pretty much the same. Actually here you can see that that falling wedge is presenting itself much nicer, much cleaner and clearer. Also here I would be looking for another sweep lower, maybe in the weekends that we're getting some news and that you're really taking out all of these lows right now, because right now they're just pretty close to each other. Take those lows out one more time, maybe testing this trend line 1 or 2 more times. I have here support and resistance line, that is this yellow line right here, and then eventually to go higher. Even if we would tap this weekly, you get a wick lower, tap that weekly back into the pattern, and then to go higher, I think you can squeeze all of these tops eventually in the next couple of so what shall we say, 2-3 weeks ish. So therefore I am looking for trades to hold somewhat longer if we can get somewhat more of a bottom forming. Here on the weekly, again, also pretty much the same. You can see we have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive red weeks, but also this could be forming somewhat of a double bottom where the second bottom is a heck of a lot higher. I actually don't want to see it go much lower than this $77, but this also could be setting up for a nice double bottom pattern to eventually to go higher. So do with this what you will. Here on the weekly, again, same kind of story. We do not see any bottom yet, but the money flow looks pretty okay. And on the daily, guess what? Just like the other altcoins, also this looks like it is somewhat close to forming a bottom. Money flow not all too pretty, so maybe we need some more consolidation, but like I said, I am slowly getting interested in taking maybe a couple of longs and see how far we can ride it, also because we already had so much red weeks now in a row that statistically I'm saying I think we're getting ready to get a little bit of a relief rally, and because some of these alts are creating this pattern and having so many highs and there will be so many shorts in the markets, I think this is a nice and easy play to squeeze those shorts out and to go for some gains. And for all of these alts, the target is then of course the last big high that we created at the beginning of May, so that is then the main target I'm looking at. That'll be it for now, that'll be it for today. Guys, if you like the content and you like the video, please do me a favor, like and subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. See you guys very soon again in the next one. Bye bye.